Welcome to our In the Kitchen this Friday, and I am really excited because we're getting into some holiday treats for the next 3 weeks. This week we are making Nanaimo Bars, and this is a Canadian classic. And when I was a total sugarholic, these were one of my favorite things to have, and we never made them at home but they are so rich and sweet and I love them. So I thought I would make them in a whole food healthy way that's easy to make. Anyone can make them. So we're going to get going. Oh, and by the way, these bars came from Nanaimo, BC, on Vancouver Island. The somebody entered them into a cooking contest or a baking contest in the 1950s, and whoever would have known they would become a Canadian classic and something that I love. But let's make our very special Nanaimo bars. So we are going to, there's 3 layers to them. We have the crust, then there's the custard filling, which is the yellow side, and then there's chocolate sauce on top. So we're going to start by making our crust in our food processor. Very easy to do. I've got some pecans here. So this is about 1.5 cups, and I will give you the recipe at the end. 1.5 cups of pecans here. Now, I always say that if you can sprout them or soak them to remove the outer coating, which is the enzyme inhibitors, that's the best thing to do. So what I do when I bring my nuts in, when I buy them, I soak them for pecans. I would probably soak for about 4 to 6 hours, rinse them off, and then I put them in my dehydrator and bring them back to being that crunchy, like a nut, because once you soak them, they become soggy. So you have to remove all the water that is in them. But what that does is it removes the enzyme inhibitors. And the enzyme inhibitors are like anti-nutrients. They will cause they actually are, if you have digestive issues, it could be because of that. They block the ability to have all of the nutrients absorbed into your body. So if you can do that, that is a good thing. And if you have some digestive issues with nuts, it could be because of the enzyme inhibitors. Now, if you don't have a dehydrator, like I do, you can actually put them on a tray on a kitchen towel and just let them dry. It takes a lot longer. Like I've done that and it took about 4 to 5 days to get them really dry. The food in the dehydrator, it's like 12 hours or so. So I've got my pecans. Now I've made this with walnuts, and walnuts have a lot more oil in them. And in the recipe, you'll see if you do make them with walnuts, you want to cut back on how much of the nuts you use and add a little bit of oats to absorb some of the oils. And I've got a cup of pitted dates, and I came up with a way to make sure that I don't have any pits end up in there, is count how many dates and then make sure I've got enough pits to correspond to how many dates I have. I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of cacao powder. So we're going to use cacao powder a couple of times. You can buy it. This is raw cacao powder. This is the one that I've got now. I recommend that you look for one that is certified organic and also fair trade, because the chocolate and also the coffee industry are very well known for their not being so nice to the workers and stuff. So you want to make sure it's fair trade. So I'm just going to put about 3 tablespoons of, and I'm not measuring, you can measure, I'm not measuring 100%, but I'll just put it in there. You could add a little bit of salt, and if you need to, you could add a little bit of water, but I find that it gets good, I don't need that. And then I'm just going to process this until I can feel that it looks like a ball as it's going around and it sticks together. So what happens, it starts getting a little uneven as it's going around, and then when it starts sticking to itself, that's a good sign that it's ready. All right, let me put that back in there. So that's going to be our crust for it. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to make our custard filling. And if you like the custard, oh my gosh, this is to die for. It is so good. Oh my goodness. I love this. So let me just want to make sure I have everything here. Okay. So what we're going to do is start with a cup of cashews. So I have soaked these for about 4 hours. Again, there's two reasons why you want to soak your cashews. First of all, if you don't soak them, they're going to be really grainy in your custard. And cashews are a great way to do cream. So when we're dairy free, cashews is a great option to have that creaminess and richness without and with healthy fats. The other thing